Hello! Welcome on in, everybody. It has been a hot minute since we've done anything live. And for this one, we are going to thank everyone who voted on playing this game next. Over on Patreon, they voted on this against Demon Souls, so here we go. Oh, stay on the start screen. Don't do that, game. How has everyone been doing? Yeah, since we did the Firebreak stream, absolutely. But hope everyone has been doing well. Absolutely. My setup's a little bit different here, just because I'm, weirdly enough, playing off of my old PS3 right now. So, a lot of the wires for my old setup doesn't really work on an old PS3, but whatever. We got it all working, and that's actually why the delay has been such a thing. To be 100% honest. Had your birthday in the second? Well, happy late birthday, Flarouche. Hope everything went well. I was watching Silent Hill Lore Hunter play Alan Wake some weeks ago, and now it's the other way around. Oh, really? Which creator was that? I'd love to check it out. Honestly, let's be honest, Silent Hill is just a place of power within the Remedyverse. I think we can all get on board with this. Yeah, it was weird, DGC. Yeah, Silent Hill, I think, got like 90% of the votes over Demon Souls to get going. It wasn't even close, to be 100% honest. But, oh my lord. Sorry. Let's just keep doing this to make sure it doesn't go to the start screen. I just wanted to give a huge, quick shout-out to Reinstall Paul. So if you guys don't know of his channel, I would recommend it. He is kind of one of the inspirations behind me doing this kind of a playthrough of the game. He has a full, I want to say it's like 40 episode long series on the esoteric breakdown of the Silent Hill franchise, just for the first game, but he does the first 3 games totally. So what the intended purpose of this playthrough is to take a lot of the research he put into, add in my own research, and hopefully we find something new. Now, if anyone's finding the channel for the first time, watching this after the fact, and you are coming in thinking we're just going to play through the game normally and just fight spooky monsters in the abandoned town, we're going to be pausing a lot, we're going to be talking a lot about things that are tangentially related to the game, but we're going to be doing a lot more than just playing the game and talking about the game itself. And the reasoning behind this, before we press play, is because I've noticed, especially with the Silent Hill 2 re-release, with the remake, is that the discourse around what Silent Hill is, oh, we're going to go there and deal with our trauma, which is not at all the foundation of what Silent Hill actually is if you play it from the beginning. It very much has to do with the occult and cult practices within the town. Silent Hill 2, weirdly enough, is kind of a... I don't want to say black sheep, but it's very different from the rest of the franchise. Silent Hill fan was very passionate about their interpretations of the games, and not in the best way sometimes, so be careful. Oh, no, trust me, Zachary, nothing I say is going to come out of left field. Well, some of the stuff is... I haven't seen people talk about some of the things I'm going to bring up. I'm going to go into a little more detail than others, but I do not think it's going to be taken the wrong way, because I'm not approaching this from an exoteric standpoint. I'm coming at it from an esoteric standpoint. Now, the difference being is an exoteric focuses more on the external, and the esoteric focuses more on the internal. And what that means in the context of storytelling is, exoteric is what's going on in the plot. Okay, so we have this character here, they're in this town, they're doing this reason, and these other characters show up. Okay, cool. That's just the story. Now, the esoteric is what's going on below, under the surface. It's the psychological aspects of it, it's the occult aspects of it, what's actually being said, what is the character really going through. And that's mostly what I'm going to be focusing on throughout this. So, with that out of the way, let's get going. Now, we're not going to be playing this on too hard of a difficulty, just because I want to have a nice casual playthrough, but we'll do it on normal. Now, if people like this run-through, I will do the second game, OG second game, at some point in the future soon, where they have harder puzzles, and we'll always do maximum puzzles, but the combat difficulty, not too big a deal. Silent Hill is just an AWE. I swear Silent Hill is a place of power. No joke. Let me know how the audio works. Oh, and if anyone's wondering why there's a N64 overlay for a PlayStation game, don't question it. It has no logos on it, and I didn't know how Sony would feel about me using their PlayStation logo. Sure, I can play the remix, no problem, but I want to play the OG to begin with. How would the RCU characters react to Silent Hill? It's an AWE. That's how they react to it. Sure, well, can you be? It's strange. It's quiet. Too quiet. This place is like a ghost town. Yeah, the overlay's on there because this is at a 4:3 aspect ratio, so I don't want you guys to have black bars everywhere. At least this way, you're kind of good. Silent Hill F, well, if I'm going to be playing Silent Hill F, Devin, it's going to be after I go through the entire franchise. And we love them tank controls. Footsteps. Pretty soon we'll have voice acting, so you won't have to listen to me yap as much. So how many people have actually played or watched this whole, and who are completely blind? I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with the story.
Cheryl? Is that Cheryl?
You're completely blind, Autumn? Okay.
Where are you going?
So just as a premise, now the instruction manual...
Stop!
Now, the instruction manual kind of got into what's going on. Essentially, that's his daughter. She demanded that they come here for vacation. And on the way, a girl walked out in front of the street. He got into a car wreck, woke up, and she was gone. So we're trying to find her. That's the as in media res as I can put it. So, but I'm not gonna really spoil anything about the plot as we go. There's only one thing that is a semi-spoiler that I will bring up at the beginning, but that's only because it'll be a lot easier to understand what's happening if we come at it from the right mindset. Specifically because a lot of people who've only played Silent Hill 2 coming this may have some certain preconceptions that are not accurate when it comes to this game. It's not a long game, Devin. It's maybe... Like, you can speedrun this in like 3 hours, but I'll probably spend about 8 to 10. So we'll probably get this done in 3, maybe 4 sessions. Yeah, a lot of people bring what they understand about Silent Hill 2 to the rest of the franchise, and it doesn't really work as well. Love the camera angles. I've never actually played the Red Dead game, Zachary, to be 100% honest. That's strange. It's getting darker. Well, yeah, that's because we're going deeper into the unconscious. Better than nothing, I guess, and we need light to be able to navigate it. A broken wheelchair? What's this doing here? Now, this is actually someone speaking to us trying to give us information, but we'll talk about that shortly. But the wheelchair is not here by accident. Hope you... Am I matching his cadence? Honestly, I'm just doing my normal presentation voice. That is a dead body, 100%. And it's just getting bloodier. Who's talking to us? We'll discuss who's talking to us shortly.
What's going on here?
That's not good. Oh, no! Freaking ankle biters, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Get off, get off, get off. No, get off! And dead. Punt the emo child. How's the audio going, by the way? That's you when you wake up.
Was I dreaming?
How do you feel?
Oh, like I've been run over by a truck. But I'm alright, I guess.
Glad to hear it.
There's a noise of some kind with the audio?
You from
Okay.
around here? Why don't you tell me what happened?
Wait a second, I'm just a tourist. I came here for a vacation. I just got here. I don't know what happened. I'd like to find out myself. Have you seen a little girl? Just turned 7 last month. Short, black hair. My daughter.
Sorry.
I'll try to fix the buzzing in a second.
The person I've seen in this town is you.
Where is everybody?
I'd tell you if I knew, believe me. But from what I can tell, something bizarre's going on. That's all I know. What's your name?
Harry. Harry Mason.
Sybil Bennett. I'm a police officer from Brams, the next town over. The phones are all dead, and the radio too. I'm going back to call in some reinforcements. Hold it. Where do you think you're going?
My daughter. I've got to find her.
No way. It's dangerous out there.
In that case, I need to find her now. Cheryl's my little girl. I can't just leave her out there by herself.
Is the game audio, like, higher enough so you can hear it now?
Have you got a gun?
No.
Take this, and hope you don't have to use it.
Love how the police officer just gives us a weapon.
Before you pull the trigger, know who you're shooting. And don't do it unless you have to. And don't go blasting me by mistake. Got it?
Yeah, thanks.
You do best to stay nearby. I'll be back with help as quick as I can.
Alrighty. So let's try to work on the audio right now. So is the audio still buzzing a little bit from the game as we speak? Because I'll mess around with the wires a little bit and see if I can get it to work. Yep, okay. Okay, I'm twisting things around. Like when I was doing some test recordings earlier, it was working fine. That was one of the reasons that I was having issues with getting this game set up and ready to stream, is because the audio was acting funky. You barely hear it now? Okay, let's just leave it at that. You have to focus notice. It's fine. If it's something you have to really pay attention to, we'll get through it. We're playing, again, a PS1 game off a PS3. We're kind of going to expect a little bit of jank. It's fine. So first cool little thing we want to mention here is we have our friend, Miss Sybil Bennett. Now, the naming scheme for her is very specific. Her name, Cybil, is actually based upon the Greek root that is a title, Cybele, meaning a prophetess. It's a title given to prophets in Greek history. Specifically, and she also mentioned she comes from the town of Brahms, which can be a contraction of the name Abram, or Abraham, who is also a prophet. So literally, she is our female priestess for the course of the game, at least archetypally speaking. And no, this is not the Oh Dear Diner, this is the 9 to 5 Diner. Alright. And that's just to get us started off. And of course, his last name, Mason, being a stone builder. Kaboom. Health drink. This is overlapping Alan Wake. It would not surprise me, to be honest. We got our flashlight, because we need to navigate the mind. And our map of Silent Hill. Now, really cool little detail. It's not really too big of a thing, but all the names in Silent Hill are actually based upon authors. So, for example, we got Finney Street, which is Jack Finney, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. We have like Richard Bachman, which is actually a pseudonym for Stephen King, and it just goes on from there. Levin is Ira Levin, who did Rosemary's Baby. Just weird stuff like that. Alright, actually, let's just save real quick just so we can not have to go through that intro if we need to. So let's just save over the infirmary. But where's Wake Boulevard? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. Maybe it'll be in the new game, even though that takes place in Japan, so who knows. Hill drink. Dude, if Silent Hill got IP right, or if Remedy got IP rights for Silent Hill, I would love to see them make a Silent Hill game. I've been saying this for years. Because they are the type of writers that could do this series justice.
What's that? Huh. Radio. What's going on with that radio?
It's ringing, is what it's doing. Ah! Go away! Get out of here.
This is not a dream. What's happening to this place?
Honestly, Devin, I have not played, I've only ever played Resident Evil 1 and 5 and 6, so no, I've not played 9. Oh yeah, we gotta pick up the radio, my bad. Stop it. So the creatures here are actually very, specific to... I forgot what book it's from. But we'll talk more about why the monsters take the form of these little pterodactyls in a second. Sounds more like a phone than a radio. I think in Shattered Memories they did use a smartphone for this as well. Where could Cheryl have gone? I guess I'll check that alley again. The Lost World... it might be the Lost World, yeah. The book takes place in South America, right, Flerouge? Long story short, there is a book where there is a hidden dinosaur colony. Not Crichton Jurassic Park, but it's an older book. And yes, it's very... That's the reason why this is here, and we'll talk about why this is here in the context of the game's narrative later. Okay, let me see where we're at real quick in terms of orientation. Because there's a couple places I want to get... Yep, this is where I want to go first. Because there is a vehicle up here where we crashed our car, and I want to go rummaging through it. Go away! Health drink. Cool. Bye. Now, for the most part, I'm going to be running away from monsters because it's a waste of ammo. Go away! Go away! Serpentine pattern, we get out of there. Oh, hi. Supermarket. Go away. Get inside the building. Oh yeah, I played this before. 100%. Weirdly enough, I started playing this right when it was released, so I think I was 10 or 11 years old when I started playing Silent Hill. Probably younger than I should have been playing this, but whatever. Yeah, this is a franchise me and my sister, anytime a new game came out, we'd play this together. It was kind of our thing. Same thing with Legend of Zelda. So me and her would always play new Silent Hills and Legend of Zeldas. That was our thing growing up. Yeah, Devin, I played it at 10. Okay. So I'm going to be going to the map quite a bit just to make sure I stay... Okay, let's go down the alleyway first. Just so we can get the next objective since we're here. Your brother, when he was younger, saw Alan Wake, thought it was terrifying. I mean, it's a supernatural thriller, so it can be scary depending on how you look at it. Weirdly enough, the creator of this game didn't intend to make a horror game. Silent Hill was never intended to be scary in his perspective. Because once you understand what's going on, it's not as frightening. Hello there, doggy. Hello there, doggy. I have not played the remake Gamer Night. I have played the original Silent Hill 2, though. From the franchise, I've played 1, 2, 3, 4, The Room, Origins, Downpour, Homecoming. The only one I think I have not played is Shattered Memories, but I'm aware enough about it. And I looked at Book of Lost Memories a little bit. Dog. There we go. And yes, there are dogs in this game, according to what we just saw. To school.
Isn't this Cheryl's sketchbook?
Because that's exactly where we need to go, people.
She's at the school.
She's at the school, and we need to go to school as well, in not just physically in the exoteric sense, but also in our understanding of what's happening in the esoteric sense. Sketchbook cover. This is a picture of me. The first picture that Cheryl drew in the sketchbook that I gave her on her 5th birthday. And we got a steel pipe. Okay, so we're going to switch over to melee for the time being. Weirdly, firearms in this game, after you get to a certain dungeon, you don't really need it as much anymore, because a melee weapon you get there is kind of like a one-hit KO at a certain point. Yes, we are going to pet the puppies with a steel pipe. And the reason there are dogs in this night here as well, ow, is because the person who's trying to talk to us, hence why that wheelchair was there and all the visions we just saw were there, happens to have the fear of dogs. It's like canophobia or canisphobia or something like that. I don't know what the actual technical term is. But this individual does fear dogs, and therefore these show up. And this individual also read The Lost World as a child, therefore the pterodactyls are here, because it's something that freaked this person out. Go away. There's the doghouse. Let's go. Oh, shoot. Okay, hold on. Let's run in circles, and then we'll be right back. To the doghouse. Oh, come on! I know there's something in the dog. I know there is something in there. Maybe we have to go somewhere else to activate that. Are there zombies? Well, I will not talk about what all creatures we have shown up in this. Hey there, Ray. How you doing? Alright. Give me a second. Let's just go down all the roads real quick and start checking out our map. Silent Archives? Yeah, sure. I'd definitely check it out. 100%. Whoa. Alright, we officially have an end of the road there. Yeah, I'm not going to mention if we have zombies or not. But I'll say that the creatures in this are much more symbolic than standard horror enemies. If you guys have played Silent Hill 2, you'll know what I mean. But this one, it's a little more simplistic in terms of what they represent. Because again, the reason we have dogs here is just because someone fears them, and same thing with the pterodactyls. Okay, let's see where we're at. Health-wise, we're fine. We will eventually get a shotgun, but not right now, Devin. Alright. So, we're not just wandering around aimlessly. There is stuff we need to get out in town. Normally what we'll do is we'll go into that house by the doghouse first, and that'll mark on our map where everything is. But, we can just wander around and get it normally. Okay, so that's there, and I believe everything is on the right-hand side here. Hey, Kiss! Welcome on in. Go away. Oh, handgun ammo, I'll take it. So we can tank a little bit of damage right now, so I'm not too concerned about grabbing a little bit. Like, as long as we stay above, like, deep orange in health, we're fine. Who names their tire shop Ghoul? That's just odd. Whoop. Okay, so I do want to kill this one, because I'm going to spend some time over here. Kick. Alright, there we go. So first things first, let's go ahead and grab ourselves a health drink, and then we're going to check the mailbox. First things first, we get the key of Scarecrow. Alrighties. So, we kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier, but if you've played the second game, you know that the town kind of allows projection from the minds of people that are here. Now, it's easy to say that, oh, Harry's projecting all this. That's not the case. Someone else is projecting the world in the town right now. Someone who is afraid of dogs, has read the book The Lost World, and therefore has developed the fear of the pterodactyls, but also, since we got the key of the Scarecrow, has read The Wizard of Oz. And The Wizard of Oz is kind of the big topic of this intro part of the game. Now, the location of this key is actually pretty interesting, because if you've actually read The Wizard of Oz, there's a scene where there's a giant chasm in the woods, and they can't cross it. So the Scarecrow comes up with this brilliant plan to have the Woodman cut down a tree to cross the gap. Hence why we have this here. We have the fallen wood to cross the gap, and what do we find right afterwards? Scarecrow. It's very specifically made that way. And we'll talk about that more once we get inside that house we were looking at. Irony is a podcast you mod for is doing a show about Judy Garland. Oh, perfect timing. Perfect timing. So yeah, whoever's projecting this knows Wizard of Oz, and very well, I might add. But there's a reason for it. So again, the Scarecrow represents what the mind, higher intellectual processes, prefrontal cortex, and things of that nature. Yeah, go away! Stop it! Oh my gosh, that guy just wanted to freaking play Patty-Cate with my head. Okay. Okay, first of all, let's grab you. Grab it! We're about to take damage. Ow. Alright, let's circle around and grab what's sitting in the back of that police car. And here we have the Key of the Lion. So now we got the Key of the Lion. Now, why is it here in the back of a police car? Of course, it's associated with the cowardly courage, which is what he was looking for. But also, we have the gap that the lion eventually jumped over. So the first time the lion demonstrated his courage before they got to the Emerald City was jumping by himself over this giant chasm. So whoever's manifesting all this is making the association between both of those. And more dogs. Ugh. The trunk of the car is still weird. I mean, it could be the front seat of the car, I guess, but... Bro, give it up. Eventually, you're gonna run out of steam trying to chase me. He wanted the nerve. Yes, is exactly what he wanted. Okay, so the last one is over this way. Again, if you go into that house by the doghouse first, it'll mark it on the map where these are located, but I just know where they're at, so it's not a big deal. Do. And there we go. Off limits? We're gonna go anyways. Boy. And in here we have a basketball court with a severed dog's head being used as the ball. So someone was playing basketball with a decapitated dog. You can only save with the notepads, so not right now. Key of the Woodman. What do you think is more interesting? The protagonist dealing with their own projections in Silent Hill, or have to deal with the survivor's other projections? It's... This is why Silent Hill 2 is very different from the rest of the franchise. Because a lot more is going on in this town than just it brings out your own unconscious and you project into it. So this is specifically being projected by a specific person, and everybody who comes here has to experience it as this character imagines it. So, and I'm not going to get more specific than that, just for story reasons, but I'll just leave it there for now. Okay, so the reason we have the key of the Tin Man, or the Woodman, right next to a severed dog's head is because that's actually part of the book. There's a scene where the Witch of the West sends a pack of 40 wolves after Dorothy and the trio, and the Woodman literally just decapitates, like, just kills them all with his axe, one after another, to keep them safe. So again, Scarecrow represented by these boys right here. And not only that, since it's the Tin Man's represented by emotion, because we have courage, mind, and emotion, heart. Yeah, I don't like seeing a severed dog head. You said Silent Hill was not supposed to be scary. It's, well, according to the creator, it's not intended to be a horror game, but it is what it is. Okay, so we got all three of our keys, and as soon as we get inside that house, we will talk about why. Now, I might need to find a note that specifies where the key is. You've not read the book Wizard of Oz? Oh yeah, there's... As much as I love the film from the 1930s, the book has a lot more symbolic and esoteric aspects to it than the film gives it credit for. Is the dog total? No, the dog is just because this character's afraid of dogs. That's really it. All right, let's head west down Matheson and see if we can, because I think we need to find a note on the ground before we can look inside the doghouse. You just remember most of the basics, yeah. Because the basics of the film for Wizard of Oz is you have the character represented by the mind, character represented by the heart, aka emotions, character represented by courage, and they're trying to reclaim those aspects themselves, where if you really look at it, those are all aspects of Dorothy herself, where they are technically projections of her emotional aspect, higher reasoning aspect, and other things. Yep, this is where we're looking for. That's what I wanted. Doghouse, Levin Street. And the whole idea is for Dorothy to balance those three aspects within herself. There's like 30 books. Technically, I think there's only 14 written by L. Frank Baum. The rest are written by other authors. Alright, so the reason we have this key here is because the person projecting this image is afraid of dogs, so where's the last place we would want to go? Into a doghouse. We have to go to the source of the fear to get the key to go in the house. Because we have to look into very dark places to start examining ourselves, right? First aid kit. Well, we'll talk about how the Woodman and everyone else is relevant here in just a second. As soon as I loot this house for everything they're worth. Yeah, I'd say Oz is more of a dimension. Now, the film tried to make it out like it was a dream reality, which isn't the case. In the book, it's very clear it's an actual reality. It's an actual dimension, not just a dream of hers. Because the three farmhands in the film didn't exist in the book. At all. That was an invention of the film. Alright. So these are called the keys for Eclipse. Very specific. Now, why the Eclipse? Well, once we get the three keys and we can go through the door of the Eclipse, we have, I don't remember if it's a lunar or a solar eclipse, whichever one is when the moon goes over the sun, and this is literally symbolic of the unconscious mind overtaking the sun, which is the conscious mind of the ego. Now, in these, for the entire game, I want to keep this in mind. Let's just get our notebooks out if anyone wants to keep up. Sun, conscious mind, ego. Moon, unconscious mind, and everything down deep that we're not always aware of. That's also represented by the color gold for the sun and the conscious mind, silver for the unconscious mind of the moon. Now, the reason why we have the three keys representing these is because in alchemical circles, we have what's called the Tria Prima. Now, the Tria Prima is represented by the mind, the soul, and the body. Or, in using other words, the mind, emotion, aka the heart, and the body. So in a literal sense, the three characters of the Woodman, the Scarecrow, and the Lion represent those three aspects, the mind, the heart, and the body. The Tria Prima in alchemical circles. And perfect time, Draco Fox, because that trio is actually represented in a lot of different games. Weirdly enough, we see that in the Triforce in Legend of Zelda. Also in Kingdom Hearts, the three aspects that make up any body is going to be the soul, which is the higher reasoning skills, the mind, the heart, which is the emotional center, and the body, which is the container that holds it all in with itself. And a lot of what happens in Wizard of Oz, the book, has to do with the interplay between these three aspects. Let's say, for example, that you had a mind, or you had, yeah, say a mind and a body without emotion. Well, then you'd be a nobody in the Kingdom Hearts sense. Or let's say that you had the body act without the input of any higher reasoning skills or emotion. Well, then that would essentially be Epimetheus in Greek mythology, which is afterthought. Or you can have the body being animated only by the emotional aspect, but not the higher reasoning skills, which would end up being Menetius in Greek mythology, which is rash emotionality, where you're emotionally driven and you don't stop and examine reason in any way, shape, or form. Now, I'm going to pull up some artwork real quick. So let's switch over to my other monitor. We're finally getting into the classroom part of it, so let's switch over here. Now, this is some artwork that directly represents what I was just talking about. So we have the prima materia, which is the unity of the whole thing, and it divides down to the four elements, which then are aspects of the Tria Prima. and that's going to be represented by the body, salt, Mercury, which I believe is the mind. So this is going to be the lion, the scarecrow, and the Tin Man, sulfur, representing the heart, the soul, and the emotional aspects of things. And this is some alchemical artwork that represents the exact same thing. So I want to keep in mind a lot of these symbols. So one, we have the alchemical symbols for the 4 elements, but also for the body, the mind, and the heart, aka the soul. So let's switch back to the game. Alrighty, so we have a lot more artwork than that, but that's, I think that's, hold on, what else do I have here? I don't remember what all I had included in all of this. Yeah, that's it for now, and we'll look at more as we go. So the entire purpose behind this is whoever is projecting this is trying to tell Harry Mason here that he has to find balance within these 3 aspects. Just like in Zelda, you have to find the balance between the 3 Triforce pieces, otherwise it'll shatter. It's the same thing. She's trying to make sure that before the eclipse occurs, before the unconscious overtakes the reality, that Harry can balance out the 3 aspects of the emotion, the mind, and the body. Okay? If we're all on the same page, then we are going to head on in and start the eclipse. Lion, the body. Salt, Woodman, is going to be the emotional aspect and sulfur. And Scarecrow, the mind, and Mercury. I've been doing good, Draco. Hope you've been doing good on your end. I managed to jump in your stream for a little bit earlier. What? It's getting dark again. Well, of course, the eclipse just occurred. The moon just passed over the sun. What's going on? And now the flashlight turns on, because the second we start exploring the unconscious reality, we need to be able to see. Otherwise, we're just lost within it. You're in your cousin's place because his wife gave birth? Oh! Well, congratulations to your cousin and his wife. That's awesome. Grab the torches. I mean, it's the same reason why, in, like, the first Hellblade, for example, you were always traveling through the mountain wall carrying a torch, exploring aspects of the unconscious, and you kind of need to be able to see. Alright. And with that out of the way, the character who's projecting this has determined that we are ready to go to elementary school. In both the literal and figurative sense of the word. Where's the pitchfork? I don't know. I have no clue where the pitchforks are. That would be an awesome weapon in this, though. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, and in some other interesting aspects, because it will come into play later on in this game, there is symbolism related to the Tree of Materia. Whoa. That makes its way into the opening chapters of Alice in Wonderland, weirdly enough. So if anyone is familiar with that book, one of the first things that happens to Alice after she goes down the rabbit hole is she comes to a room with a table where it has the bottle that says drink me, but the table, it has 3 legs. It's a glass table with 3 legs. Representing, again, the stability provided by the Tree of Materia. Because weirdly enough, if you had a 2 legs, it would collapse immediately. But if you had 4 legs, you can cut off one and still be fine, which is why 3, in terms of numerology, is the stability aspect. We see that with triangles as well. So in essence, before Alice can drink the bottle, she has to acknowledge the Tree of Materia, just like Harry just did. Again, the person projecting this knows her literature. School map. Alright. So now with basics out of the way, it's time to start elementary school. Oh, actually, there was one thing I needed to get. Hold on. Hold on. Let's go back into the entry here, because I forgot to download this. I completely forgot to grab this other piece of art. Give me a second. Because I meant to do this as part of the Wizard of Oz discussion, but I completely forgot to. So let me download this picture real fast, and that one is a WebM file, so I can't download it. Give me a second. Oh, why is everything not downloading as JPEG files ever? There we go. We got downloads there. And there. Alright, so we're going to switch back over to my computer real quick. Now, people were asking me about Toto and its symbolism within Wizard of Oz. Well, here's Toto right here. So in the Fool, we literally have the dog as the companion here. And it's supposed to do two things. One, be a guide, but also, secondly, warn us that there's danger simultaneously. And if we think about Dorothy within the context of her story, she is the Fool. Harry's the Fool. It's the individual who has not yet jumped off the cliff into the unknown universe, where for Dorothy it's going into Oz, for Alice it's going into Wonderland, for Harry it's going into Silent Hill here. Okay. Now, yeah, we're all the Fool. All of us are the Fool in our own story. Some of us decide to let the little dog yapping at our ankles prevent us from ever jumping off the cliff into the unknown, in which case we stay within the known world forever. Or B, we jump off prematurely and go head splat on the ground. Or C, jump at the right time and navigate it properly. It is written in blood. 12 o'clock, a place with songs and sound, a silver guidepost is untapped in lost tongues, awakening at the ordained order. Now remember, we talked about silver. Silver earlier, representing the moon, representing the unconscious aspect. Moving on to the next. It is written in blood. Alchemy lab. Gold in the old man's hand, the future hidden in his fist. Exchange for sage's water. Again, gold. So we have gold and silver already making its thing. Sun, moon, conscious, unconscious. It is written in blood. Darkness that brings the choking heat. Flames render the silence, awakening the hungry beast. Open time's door to beckon prey. And if we check the numbers for the time, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 5 o'clock, so this needs to be done in a specific order. First, gold. Second, silver. Third, darkness. And when it comes to, let's just say this entire game is a giant alchemical ritual, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. So things need to be done in a very specific order. And if we're talking about alchemical rituals, this is literally taking place in reverse order. Because gold is the last thing. Remember, Philosopher's Stone, making lesser metals into gold. So gold would be the ultimate goal, and before that silver, so we're working backwards. A picture of a door. I don't know who drew it, but it's certainly in bad taste. Now, why this is in the teacher's office, I have no idea. This is the ritual to lead you on. No shit, dude. No shit. This is legitimately the ritual to lead him on. Come on, give me the handgun ammo. I talked about that in the Holy Grail fight. Yes, I did talk about that briefly during the Holy Grail fight in Persona 5. I mean, a lot of this stuff, once you recognize it, you start seeing it everywhere. And it's stuff that, back in medieval times, was very well known and was common practice. The teachers are cultists. I mean, that's every elementary school, right? Okay, so let's grab ourselves medical supplies from the nurse's office. And let's do a quick save. Now, I don't expect to ever die in this game, but it's fine. If I remember correctly, in the second game, I think the endings sometimes are dependent upon how many times you save. And if you save more than a certain amount of times, it actually locks you out of certain endings. Which is just cruel, let's be honest. Locked. Okay. So now we need to go through the courtyard. The Floofy Kitty says hi. Well, hello, Floofy Kitty. Not necessarily. Magna Pinidae. Because when you talk about quote-unquote Satanism, you have to talk about which version you're referring to. There's Ahrimanic and Luciferian Satanism. Alright, so we have the Golden Sun. Ah! Get off of me! Get off of me! Let me run away from these guys real quick. I'm not going to go back and check it out, but on the right is the Silver Moon. So Golden Sun, Silver Moon. Keep those symbols in mind. Silent Hill is one of those where, in most games when I do these kinds of esoteric analysis, everyone's like, oh, you're just freaking seeing things that may not be there, you're projecting, but this game is very specific. It's very intentional with how it does everything. Ah, jeez. Alright. Hello there, squeakers. We're gonna call these things squeakers, okay? We're good. Now, it's a good time to talk about the enemies we were just experiencing. So those little ankle biters, they are representing literally the other students of the school that bullied the person who is projecting this. Little short bastards with knives. Now, the shadows, they can't actually damage you, and they're more phantoms. And it's more, even after the bullying aspect is gone, the voices in the back of your head, the memories of what they did, are still lingering around. They can't physically touch you, but you still experience it. Seems like Gnosticism to you. There's, I know a little bit of Gnosticism borrows from some of those philosophies. Ah, jeez, just stay away from me, stay away from me. Great. Okay, let's see if I can take this one out. Oh shit, there's two. Not good. Ah, you little shitballs. Okay, let's just run. One at a time, I can take these guys out pretty... Oh my gosh, you little shits! Move. Let's go to the other room first. And that one's jammed. Yeah, let's go this way. I think we're good on the health. Oh no, we were like down. Well, I'm glad we didn't accidentally die, because I just said I don't plan to die in this game and then I immediately get killed. That would suck. And be embarrassing. Okay. Well, let's unlock that door so we can get back to the entry hall. And go to the bathroom. Alright, so this guy I should be good with. Luckily, they don't deal damage when they kick you like that. Like, if they grab you, there's no damage, but it's only when they stab you. And there is absolutely nothing in the bathroom. Great. Yeah, we had a scripted death at the start, but that's it. So I do not consider that to be a true death. And absolutely nothing in this bathroom either. Great. Okay. So now I think we need to go through that hallway to the east end. No, it's locked, but I think we can go through the hall. Let's see if we can go through the hallway real quick. You little pendejo, get out of here. Wait, did I try this door? That one's locked too. Okay, boom, and boom. You little shit! During my test playthrough, I did not take this much damage, and I am embarrassed now I'm running into the wall. Tank controls are amazing. Ah, we're still in the green, we're good. Second floor. Sammy? Sammy? Sorry, the dog's barking. Hold on. I need to check the door, guys. 1 second. I apologize. The dog is going crazy. Alright, we are back. So he was just... The neighbor was parking and he decided to let me know. I'm gonna try to just... These classrooms are very tight, so I'm gonna try to avoid them. Plus it's... Oh, I didn't even see that guy. That guy's sneaking up on trying to stab me in the butthole, and I do not appreciate that. And yes, I know I do not need to go through that door, but it'll trigger the map to show that I went through it. And my OCD tells me I have to go through every door. Honestly, Cass, the word's just fun to say. That's my main reason for saying it. Alright, we're good. Now let's check the bathrooms real quick. Sounds like someone's hiding in one of the toilet stalls crying. And given what we're seeing in this setting, I can understand why. Oh, there's two! I don't like two. Go away. Ah, you little bastard, get off me. I can probably take both of these out. There we go. Kick him right in the scrot. Nope. Get down. We good. I wonder how many actually had that experience where school was that rough where you had to go into the bathroom and cry by yourself. I'm fortunate I never had to deal with bullying and stuff like that to that degree, ever. You did? I'm sorry, dude. School is literally torture. I mean, like, I kind of lucked out. Like, I was a performing arts student. And so I was, like, in the band. I helped with choir in the pit orchestra and worked with theater a lot, which under normal circumstances would be the nerdy things. But my school was more focused on performing arts, and we were the cool kids, and the football team and the sports teams who were horrible were the loser kids. My school had a really weird dynamic. Let's just leave it at that. Alright, so what we have here is we have two choices. In the southern part, we have the music room, and in the top part, we have the chemistry lab and the lab equipment room. Now, we're going to go to the top first. Remember, if we're paying attention to what we read, the golden sun and the silver moon. First, we have to start, again, if we're going through the reverse stages of alchemy, starting with gold and moving back to silver, we have to start with gold, which is represented by conscious mind, the rational aspect of it. Now, where are we going to find the rational, the conscious aspect of it, the scientific aspect of it? That's right, in the science rooms. Because music and performing arts is going to be the emotional side of things, which is going to be that aspect of it. Now, if we're going to go into the polarity of opposites, sun is also usually represented by the masculine and the scientific. Now, not always. Some mythological systems, such as in Japan, they have it inverted, where Amaterasu is the feminine sun spirit, but it's besides the point. Most often, it's that way. Distilled water, no reason to take it. Now, this is actually a very, weirdly enough, this may seem like a throwaway line, but it's very relevant. Now, let's take a second and switch over to some artwork over on my monitor. Where are you? Let me pull it up. Because the fact that they mention distillment is actually very relevant. Okay. Now, for most systems, in terms of the 7 stages of the alchemical process, we have this list right here. So the very bottom, we have the final stage of coagulation, and then the next stage is distillation. We just found some bottles of distilled water, and it's telling us that we can't use that yet. Why? Because, again, we have to start here, which is gold, and work our way back to silver. So the game is literally telling us, like, hey, it's not time for the distillation phase yet. You have to work on the coagulation phase first. Again, random throwaway, but it's very specific why it's there. And now we have our chemical. Holy crap, why am I taking so much damage right now? We are talking about the Philosopher's Stone, but more specifically, so you missed the start of this when we were talking about exoteric interpretation and esoteric interpretation. Now, the whole idea behind the Philosopher's Stone, aka I get immortality and I can turn any metal to gold, that's a very exoteric understanding of what the point of alchemy is, which is focused on the outside world. Now, spiritual alchemy, which is what this game is talking about, is more about the esoteric end, which is the internal, the development of yourself. You were trying to turn the lesser metal that is you into gold, metaphorically speaking, in an esoteric sense. Alright, so we have concentrated hydrochloric acid, found in the lab equipment room. Now, weirdly enough, concentrated hydrochloric acid, when mixed with gold, has a certain effect. Hence why we're using it. But that's besides the point. Yeah, he's going too slow. It doesn't matter. Boo, 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 boo. Alright, and randomly we have a severed hand. Because of course we do, in the chemistry classroom. The statue of an old man's hand. Okay, it's not a real hand, it's a statue, but whatever. We get the point. Now, important key detail to note here is this hand, it's a left hand grasping the gold coin. Remember, at the clock tower, the gold was on the left-hand side and the silver was on the right. So, of course, it has to be a left hand holding the gold, because gold, the sun, and those aspects generally held on the left. And we'll get more into that as soon as we go through the clock tower. We'll show it just in how the Mystery Traditions always portrayed it, Flarouge. We'll talk about more when we get into it. But yes, the gold is usually on the left. Mostly because the right-hand side is more for, like, direct action, and the left is more about dominion. But it's There's more to it than that. Yu-Gi-Oh has both variants of that stone in the archetype called the Golden Land, which does stages from the white to black, and then the red being the final. It's funny you talk about the white to black to the red, because let's switch over here real quick. Okay, let's go back to my computer screen. But one of my slides is actually the white, the black, the red. The albedo, the rubedo, and the negredo. But besides the point, moving on. We'll get to that when we get to that. We have to wait until we get to the next dungeon before that becomes relevant. Stay away, stay away. Oh my god, there's too many of you. Go away. That's locked. And we're good here. You always wondered why the Twin Peaks colors were so prominent. Yep. Yep. It's weird that the alchemical process in terms of spiritual alchemy has a lot of variations. And some, there are 7, which is the most common because 7's a symbol of perfection. There's also, Jung had 4 different versions, which is the, again, the Negredo, the Albedo, the Rubedo, and the Citrino, or Citrinitas, depending on which version, which includes yellow, the white, red, black, and white. But there's also just the 3 version, which is the red, the black, and the white as well. And they kind of just encompass other stages. It's just whoever envisioned the system, they all had different variations of it. Hello, squeakers. Let's just walk away. You kids have fun in the library. Oh, this one actually has some of these guys. Weirdly enough, these had to be censored in the Western version of this game. Because they didn't like the idea of you killing things that look too much like actual children. Ah! You're supposed to stay on the ground. Stay there. Now, the original version called Mumblers do show up later in the game in a different context, but these are referred to as the Grey Child, or the Grey Children. No. Okay. No, I'll show you the original version, Draco. The original version that was supposed to be in the school, it does not look like this in the Japanese release. Yeah. They were called Mumblers, and they looked very different than this. But we do see them later in the game, and I'll point them out for you when we get there. Nothing in here. That is a really weird way to draw a map, but I'll go for it. Oh, Rule of Rose was dark, call me Cass. I played that with my, again, with my sister when we were younger. And I was probably too young to understand what was going on, but revisiting it when I'm older, it is messed up. Okay. Okay. Let's see where we are at. So now we can move into the music room. So now here's a really cool detail in the game that for most people would say is annoying. Because you know how older games, they made you do certain things that would trigger other things in the game, so you couldn't do B until you did A? Kind of like we couldn't get the key in the doghouse earlier until we got the note at the end of the street saying Dog Street 11. Even though we examined it, it wouldn't let us get it. This area does the same thing, but there's actually a lore reason. There's a ludonarrative reason for it. Kitty! It's just a cat. And now there is no cat. There's nothing inside. Well, not anymore, there isn't. Oh, go away. Oh, go. There's way too many of you. Go away. Alright. So now we're officially in the music room. Now, this is where we would want to go for the moon, silver, in that aspect, where also the music would be the emotional, the creative, the intuitive aspect of the psyche. It won't open. Odd. It doesn't look locked, though. Now, the game will legitimately lock you out of the piano because we haven't done something yet. Because, again, when we're talking about the ritualistic aspect of what we're going through, you have to do things in a very specific order. So if we don't do the first step, we can't do the second. And this forces you, in-game, to not do things out of order within this ritual. And that is placing the gold. We have to put the gold in the clock tower. So let's head downstairs, do that, and we'll be right back up. Yeah, the whole deal with rituals is you have to do things in a very specific way, in a very specific order, using specific imagery, and anything that's out of place just makes the whole thing not work. Hence why we have to... Like, we're solving a puzzle here, but we have to do it in a very specific way because we're performing a ritual as we go through the game. So again, on the left hand, we have gold. And this also lines up with the dichotomy of the left brain, right brain at the same time. The whole point of the school is to get across the idea of opposites and the unity of the opposites. And not just in one context, but in basically every context. Okay. Excuse me? That is the benefit of me, is I have longer legs than you little ankle biters. And then all of a sudden, boom, the piano's open. Because now that we've gone from the coagulation stage of the alchemical process, we're moving back to the distillation phase, represented by silver. And mercury, among other things. Alright. So now we have the poem. So again, in order to get silver, which is the feminine aspect, the unconscious aspect, the moon, but also the creative and emotional aspect, we have to play a piano and read a poem, which are emblematic of that. A tale of birds without a voice. First flew the greedy pelican, eager for the reward, white wings flailing. Then came a silent dove, flying beyond the pelican as far as he could. A raven flies in, flying higher than the dove, just to show that he can. A swan glides in to find a peaceful spot next to another bird. Finally out comes a crow, coming to quickly to a stop, yawning and then napping. Who will show the way? Who will be the key? Who will lead to the silver reward? And here we go. And that is our clue with how to play the piano. So, like, we can analyze the symbolism of the birds themselves, but more specifically, all that matters for the context of the puzzle is the color of the birds. So we have white birds and black birds. Now, we can go through here. That's a tone. That's not a tone. That's not a tone. Tone, tone, tone. So the ones we need to click are the ones that are broken. And the puzzle is based upon this. Now, I already know what the path is, just because I know this game inside and out. Now, this is not related to anything to do with the game or symbolism, but I think it's cool, is that the music you're going to play as part of this puzzle is in the D harmonic minor key, which is basically a Dorian mode D with a natural 9. Or a natural 7. And I'll play it for you guys here. This is what it sounds like. And drops the silver. Yeah. Yeah, like the natural minor or harmonic minors are very cool. So this would be the scale. And it just played, is the technical term right there. Okay, sorry. I downloaded a simulated piano on my cell phone earlier today just for this. And of course, since I'm a jazz-trained pianist, I'm just playing around. Moving on with life. So we got the silver. We got the 6th stage ready to go, and we can reverse. Ah! You're gonna ask if I had a real piano? No, I'm on my cell phone right now. Oh, darn it. Alright, guys. We're gonna have to do this just because it's gonna bother me if we don't. And I'll probably take damage in the process, but I'm going to do it. You little bastard, get off of me. What's my health like right now? So we didn't go through that door. There was one door we did not go through. So I'm gonna go over here and take damage just to do that. Oh, hi there, child. Now, technically, we can turn off the light, and it makes it harder for them to see us. Which is a tactic, but I usually never do it, because then I can't see them. Right? That was the biggest thing about Alan Wake 2, Mara, is you could get attacked while in the pause menu. And it was annoying. Okay. Oh, hold on. I gotta get closer. There we go. So now silver's in there. Okay, so we have gold on the left, silver on the right. And now it is time for the last part of our little challenge. Oh, gosh. You know what? I think I can take this one out. If it's just one, I can... Oh, no, that's two! It's two. It's not just one. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Go through the door. You little shit. Go through the door. Let's reset their spawn. I think it's going to be that one. Darkness that brings the choking heat, flames render the silence, awakening the hungry beast. Open time's door to beckon prey. Okay, I'm just going to go through this door just to reset their... Alright, there we go. And what that's going to mean is we got to go into the basement to the boiler room. Oh, my Lanta, get out of here. It's locked. I didn't unlock it from the other side. Great. That's my bad. What's Centralia, Mara? Get off of me. Oh my god, and that's locked too. What did I just do? Oh, because I haven't been to the other side yet. That's my bad. Let me check my health. I'm taking way more damage during this run than I was in my test stream. But it's fine. I literally finished the playthrough with like 200 rounds of the handgun and like 15 health drinks, so it's... If I use more here, it's not a big deal. Okay, I'm just trying to reset their spawn location. Ah, you little jag off. Go away. You know what? Let's try to take this one out. Like, if it's just one, I can take it out without damage. Oh, that's about as satisfying as turning off the song in Fatherland Folly. Alright, we're good. Let's go into the classrooms just because we haven't been here yet. Even though we don't need to. But there might be some health drinks or some ammo in here. It's a Silent Hill IRL. Oh, very interesting. Yeah, there's some travel I do want to do. Like, I want to go to Crater Lake up in Oregon, where the inspiration for Cauldron Lake from the RCU is. God, oh, it's just a squeaker. We're good. Okay, we'll unlock that one. We're good. And we haven't been inside the hall. And we can't go inside the hall. Okay, no problem. Whoa! That was way too close. Alright. So now that the entire map is good, nothing inside. What do you mean nothing's inside? Where are we at? Oh, shoot. We're already downstairs. My bad. And like any good psychological game, you have to go down into the basement, because the further down you go, the deeper into the unconscious you are. And the fact that the author of those notes refers to what's in the basement as a fire-breathing beast is just the imagination. You know how kids are when it comes to the basement? Oh, don't go down there. There's monsters down there. You hear the boiler act up, you think it's some demon. It's like that scene in the first Home Alone film where Kevin was freaking out about going to the basement to doing laundry. Same thing. Same reason why this character's freaking out about it. Or who, the individual projecting this is freaking out about it. Okay. You've never had a basement? Yeah, we don't have basements over where I'm at. I used to have to work with a lot of basements, specifically like sump pump failures. Because a lot of my old clients were back east. I did a lot of work in like Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and stuff like that, where basements are more frequent. Let's try that again. Maybe they'll spawn in different positions. Nope. Yeah. And we good. No damage. And now that we have that, the doors will open. Inside the clock tower and down. Alright. So, the entire purpose of this little ritual we just went through is the person who's projecting all of this is trying to give us a basic elementary understanding of certain esoteric ideas, which is the unity of opposites. Now, there is a very simple image that captures this. So let's go over to my computer and let's talk about it. It's something that I'm pretty sure everyone here has seen before. The Lover's card. The unity of opposites. Masculine, feminine, sun, moon, gold, silver. The unity of which makes the androgynous angel. Now there's another version of this. The weird thing about the Rider-Waite Dead, and I think I know why this was done this way, but in this case we have the sun or the masculine on the left, and the feminine on the right, which is opposite to what we were just saying in the clock tower, where we have the gold on the left and the silver on the right. Now, if we switch over to the Marseille deck, we have it in the proper order, where we have the male here and the female, then we have the androgynous unity in the middle, and then, again, the cherubim in the top. So this one is done correctly. Now, I think the reason why the Rider-Waite variation of this is done in reverse is because it's based upon the Tree of Life. Now, this is intended to be viewed with the figure of a human being here, where they're facing at the camera. So Hokma right here would be the left shoulder. So in relation to that, it's inverted, where the male would be on the left shoulder. It is on the left shoulder, but from this vantage point, it looks like it's on the right. And then the feminine over here, hence why this was drawn based upon the imagery of that. Or the right pillar was the masculine, the left pillar was the feminine. Now there is one more, and here's another image that represents pretty much the same thing, where we have the sun on the left, moon on the right, and the two dragons consuming the two, creating a unity. We don't need to go there just yet. And here is another interesting symbol. What happens when you overlay the masculine and the feminine, you get this symbol, which is very common. You'll see that as the Sigil of Solomon or the Star of David. And it's interesting here where you have the unity of balance of the two opposites, which is what Harry Mason just went through. Cool little detail, though, is when you do that with the alchemical... These are the alchemical symbols for the 4 elements. And you form the 5th element, ether. 6 sides to the star. The lovers is key 6 for the exact same reason. Interesting little detail. Alright, and we're back. Let me clear up my monitor real quick. Actually, no, I didn't miss this. This is the image that I wanted to show off in relation to that. Let's switch back. So this is the image right here I was referring to, where it's like the man is looking forward, so you have that on the left and that on the right. So we have, it's intended to have the gold on the left, the silver on the right, but it's from a different vantage point. Alright. We good. Now that we've done that, and Harry has learned to unify the two opposites, it's telling us to keep out, and we're going to ignore the sign. Because we're entering a part of the nightmare that they don't want us to access. Yes, and we ignore the siren, just like Odysseus did.
Have I been here before? I don't remember this being here before.
It's actually kind of funny. I heard a comment of a philosopher talking to someone that they were trying to explain something to, and they made the recipient was saying something along the lines of, like, "What, do you take me for a fool? Like, do you think I'm an idiot for this action, or for even listening to what you're saying?" And the response was, "Do you take me to be a fool?" Is, well, it would help if you were a fool. Because again, when we're talking about the archetypal of the ego of the hero about to jump off and set forth in their journey, yes, we are the fool. It's helpful. Oh yeah, the music in this game, the atmospheres are incredible. I absolutely adore Kiri Yamaoka's work. And we're officially in the other world. So I don't know if I should get too deep into the cosmology of this game just yet, because we've already experienced the fog world and we're now in the other world. They do have the original world of Silent Hill, but we very rarely see it, so it doesn't really matter. Is the audio good? I'm just seeing Kess's notes saying he couldn't hear it. I just want to make sure. Get away from me. That's not good. Okay, let's see if we can get away with just doing one. Oh, crap. Not good. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to start working on... Oh, we did good. Okay, okay, yeah, if the audio's not mastered very well, let me know, guys. Because I can turn down my voice and turn up the game a little bit. There we go. Let me know if that's any better. Because I can alter the audio real quick, so if it's not, like, to the point where you can hear the game and hear me, let me know immediately. Otherwise, I'm playing a lot, presuming you guys can hear everything right, and I don't know. Oh, crap! Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, let's get rid of these. Don't like these things. Little cockroaches. Yeah, the little roachies. Which have a much more primitive nervous system and brain function than humanity. Because again, we're getting deeper in, so we are getting more primitive in terms of the mind we're occupying. Okay. So now we can unlock you, and we're just gonna wander around for a bit. Look more like silverfish. Yeah, just keep me informed of how the audio sounds, guys. I want to make sure it's good on your end. It's better? Okay. And we have the picture card. Now, what... It's kind of hard to see with a low res here. No, we have a lot of the same ones. So we got the 3 of either 3 of hearts or 3 of diamonds, and then the ace of either spades or clubs. It's kind of hard to say which. But I don't think those really have a detail when it comes to minor arcana. The hearts with the suit of cups, the diamonds with the suit of swords, etc. Okay, let's try to avoid these guys as much as I can. What do we got in here? We got absolutely nothing to pick up, so that's fine. Well, not to give anything away yet, Flarouz, but all the Wonderland references will come in the game, but just not yet. We will see a lot of Wonderland references, though. Hey, what's up, Lemonade? Not much, we're just wandering through the school right now. Okay, so we got a save point. Nice. And this is the nurse's office, or at least the alternate version of a nurse's office. It's seen better days, for sure. Yeah, like, I mean, usually when I see playing cards like that in a game where I know the writers intentionally try to include occult symbolism, my mind immediately goes to minor arcana. Okay, I need to use a weapon in this hallway. I remember this one being kind of annoying. But in this case, I don't think it is. You little... dingleberry. Okay. So now that we got that one taken care of, I can switch back to the pipe. But I can't see where he's at. There he is. What's annoying is it's the second strike that actually does the stagger on this guy, so you have to time it well to get the stagger in. Wait, there's one more? Oh no, he just took 2 kicks. Never mind. And a wheelchair at an elementary school? Well, the wheelchair is here for the exact same reason it was in the alleyway. Now we have an ampule. So this does maximum health, but it also, I think it regenerates health slowly after taking it, which is awesome. Okay, so that's unlocked. You little... Get away from me. Okay. Oh shoot, it's locked. Okay, let's go back and see if we missed anything. Is there anything here? No, there's literally nothing there. Okay, we're good. Yeah, it's more atmospheric and less music. I mean, when Akira works with Mary Elizabeth McGlynn for a lot of the vocal tracks, oh my lord, they are incredible. Like, I literally have Live at Heaven's Night album on my YouTube playlist. What? Is this a door? If it is, there's no keyhole or even a knob. If I push it, it moves a bit, but it certainly won't open. What's this? In the center of the door is a horizontal slot. What is it for? Well, luckily we have a keycard for that, with the 3 things. Pyramid Head's theme from the end of Silent Hill 2. Oh my gosh. I absolutely adore the soundtrack for this entire franchise. Alright. So first things first, let's unlock here. And then let's head into the bathroom. And guess what? There's our shotgun. A hanging body? Why would somebody... Shotgun. Leonard Rhine. The monster lurks. The monster lurks? What's that supposed to mean? Alright. Now, if I remember correctly, Leonard Rhine is mentioned at some point. It might be in Silent Hill Origins or in the Book of Lost Memories. I don't recall which. But the name is, weirdly enough, actually a reference to the father of parapsychology. His name is J.B. Rhine. He was a professor at Duke University. And he coined a lot of he was the forefather of a lot of parapsychology study. Even writing a book that was entitled and put into the public lexicon Extrasensory Perception. There we go. There's the stun. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no. Okay, there's too many. There's too many. Run, 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 run. Let's just run. What? Where am I at? Ooh, I missed the bathroom. I was actually intending to go into the bathroom. Let's head back real quick. It sounds echoey and dreamlike and abyssal. Oh yeah, no, it's intended to be. Like a lot of the sounds are industrial for a purpose. Or with reason. There we go. And if anyone's wondering why that load screen took a while, it took a while because of a reason. I don't really like this bathroom. And personally, I don't like the idea that there's no real stalls or partitions here. It's just chain link. No, Sergey, I'm not playing on an emulator. I'm playing on a PS3. But the reason why that scene took forever to load is, guess what? We're somewhere else now. We are now on the second floor. Going into the ladies' restroom literally teleports you up and down between the first and the second floor, and that's why it took forever to load, because it's loading in the entire second story of the game. Okay, now we have some shotgun ammo as well as some more pistol. We're gonna go in here, and now it's gonna reload. Let's head back out, and we're back on the first floor. Dream logic, don't you love it? Alright, so now that we've gotten the southern and the eastern side pretty well explored, we need to head up north, go to the storage room, and then into the top teacher's room. So let's go. Ha, you missed me. Oh, I was so excited he missed me that I ran right with my freaking dingling into a dagger. That's my bad. Accidental sword fighting. Yes, let's go with that. We have a rubber ball. Bright pink rubber ball. A headless doll is stuck on the wall. It's locked. Oh, crap. Okay. So... Oh. My bad. I should have gone through the teacher's room into the north part of the western hallway. That's my bad. We'll just head back to the courtyard and get her back over there. And in case if everyone's wondering, this symbol is relevant to the lore of the game. There is no real-world comparison for it. It does somewhat resemble other sigils, which we'll discuss in a little bit, but it's not a one-to-one comparison to anything specifically. Gimme. I love how all the classrooms have handgun bullets. Or this is the teacher's office, never mind. American schools, right? Makes sense.
Cheryl!
That was Cheryl's voice. Where is she? They actually did mute. They, I do believe they modeled the school after Kindergarten Cop. No joke. I have heard about that. Alice? Alice, yes. We're not going to be able to get away from the Alan Wake references in this game, are we? Ever. Yep. Alright, so we're on the second floor, so let's look around. So we've got classrooms here, and then we'll look through the lab equipment room and all the other shenanigans. Okay. That guy just tripped. Alright, see if I can get away with it. Oh, I almost... That should have staggered him. There's 3 of them?! Okay. Kick him. Kick him. Kick them all. Kick them all. Ah, darn it. Smack him. Success. Alright, moving on. I'm literally making this game way harder than it needs to be because we do have... How much do we have at this point? 200 rounds of handgun ammo that we're not using. You know how it is in games where you always collect your potions and never use them because there might be a time later on in the game where you really need them? Unfortunately, that's my philosophy in handgun bullets in this game. And there's change hanging from the ceiling. I don't like that. But yeah, in terms of the dichotomy between the fog world, real Silent Hill, and the other world, which is where we're at, think of it like the waking world, the sleeping world, and then the hypnagogic or hypnopompic reality, where the fog world's kind of like the hypnagogia, where it's that middle ground between sleep and dream. Oh, you little shite. And that's where the sleep paralysis demons reside. Which I have had the fun circumstances of having sleep paralysis demons at one point. A couple times, actually. Let's wait a little bit more. Let me take a little bit more damage, then I'll use a first aid kit. Because I don't want to use too many health drinks in one go. Okay. Oh, crack! I don't like that. Okay, hold on, hold on. I'm gonna go through this door. No, no, no. Okay, I think I can use... I can take a little bit more damage. Alright, I'm gonna say screw it and use my pistol for this room. Oh, you little jagoff. Alright. It's not targeting the little... Okay, there's only one more, so I don't need to use any more pistols. Dude, can you please get away from me? Little bastard. And I'm already lower in health again. Okay, that's great. That's perfectly great. Oh, great. Is the cat locked in here again? No, there's no cat in here. Just a lot of blood. But somebody's in the locker. We have the library reserve key. Okay, we're good. Yeah. Tank controls are lovely. Okay. Alright, so we need to head back around. We could probably head in there. Okay, cool. Anyone else have the weird connection where these maps and dungeons feel very much like Zelda dungeons? You little shite. Okay. Okay. You just happen to be like okay, I need to go this way. They literally block the only path. Ocarina of Time maps, yeah. Now we can head into the library. Let's see what we got here. We got books on the ground. Got some health kits, which I do need some of you. Who's knocking? The Monster Lurks is the book's title. Again, this is the book written by our good friend, Leonard Rhine, who we just saw strung up in the bathroom. A horror Zelda game would be pretty cool. I think we already have a horror Zelda game. It's called Darksiders or something like that. The first Darksiders was very much a horror Zelda game. Manifestation of delusions. Poltergeists are among these negative emotions like fear. Worry or stress manifests into external energy with physical effects. Nightmares have, in some cases, been shown to trigger them. However, such phenomenon do not appear to happen to just anyone, although it's not clear why adolescents, especially girls, are prone to such occurrences. And we'll talk more about that when we get to the next section. Where are we? Okay. Hearing this, the hunter armed with bow and arrow said, "I will kill the lizard." But upon meeting his opponent, he held back, taunting, "Who's afraid of a reptile?" And this the furious lizard hissed, "I'll swallow you up in a single bite." Then the huge creature attacked, jaws opened wide. This is what the man wanted. Calmly drawing his bow, he shot into the lizard's gaping mouth. Effortlessly, the arrow flew, piercing the defenseless maw, and the lizard fell down dead. This is from an old fairy tale I remember reading as a kid, and someone else also read it as a kid, which is why it's manifested here. Now, the lizard, at least in human psychology, a lot of the times deals with the R complex, or the reptilian part of the brain, which is base instincts. It's as closely associated with the id as we can possibly get, which is why, of course, the first thing we got to do and the first boss we're going to have is the serpent, the lizard. The reptilian part of the brain and the id. And what kills it is the bow and arrow, which is two different objects. You have the bow and you have the arrow used in conjunction. Again, the whole point of the school is to get across to Harry the union of opposites. Now, the fairy tale could have talked about a sword being used, but that's a single item and defeats the purpose. Okay. Okay, so I think... oh no, chemistry lab. We skipped the chemistry lab entirely. Let's go see. I think I know where we need to go next, but I want to check the chemistry lab first. Okay, nothing in there. Okay. So now, then, we have to go to the roof. We have a nice little spot to plant some vegetables up here. There's a hanging key just out of reach. Now I'm going to do this wrong first, and then we'll do it right. And then right up here, we have a certain symbol on the wall, the same one that's in the courtyard. It's attempting to bring us attention to this valve. The opposite of the basement, for one. Yep, so we went down to the basement, now we're in the top, but we're also releasing water that runs in a river here. Now, water is also very much symbolic of one, the emotional aspect, but also the unconscious, which is then tied into the silver, the feminine, and all the other polarities that we've been discussing throughout the course of the elementary school. But it can't make it all the way to the key. So what we're going to do is plug the hole with our bright pink bouncy ball. We gotta allow the flow and the stream of unconscious energy to flow uninterrupted. Hey there, still Twilight. How's it doing? Welcome on in. Is your first time catching it live? Nice to see. Hope your day's going well. Honestly, I've kind of been nervous about doing this game live, just because it's such a heady game and there's so much symbolic detail everywhere that I'm just hope I'm not gonna fumble. The key went down the drain. All right. And based upon the structure of this building, it can only drain outside, and there's only one exterior section we have in this area. Yeah, like, this entire game, I'm probably going to do a full edited video on this later, after I've done a little bit more research. Frankly, most of the research I did preparing for this had to do with rereading Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland, Through the Looking Glass, and then work on some spiritual alchemy. That was like the majority of the context that this game discusses. But the last, I want to say, 2 weeks, I've just been working on those just to get ready for the stream. And there we go. We got the classroom key. See, I don't know if this game is Flarouge. I don't know if the game is intended to use water as the metaphor or the symbol for emotion specifically. In this one, it, at least in this context, I think it's more akin to unconscious energies flowing freely. Because again, the symbols, they're very subjective and context sensitive. Because they can mean a lot of different things. Wait, why am I here? Why am I going to the roof? I don't want to go to the roof. It's funny because how the game is structured is that each area is intended to teach you these basic lessons, but the last level is kind of like, okay, it's test time, and it's trying to judge to see if you understood and got the point. And we'll get why when I'll talk about that more when we get to that point. Shit! Okay, I thought that would help. It did not help. Yeah, the last level is a vibe check for sure. I've actually heard a testimony where someone was having trouble with the last level and completely managed to get through it because he grabbed his dad's grimoire, weirdly enough, and the grimoire actually gave him the clues on how to beat the level. That's how well done this game is designed. Ooh, hello there, health drink. And we'll get more to we'll talk about more of that probably in the maybe next stream or the third stream, depending on how quickly I get through the next dungeon. Ah! You fucking bugs! I hate you bugs! No, you... Oh my lord. The one time I want you to do that, there you go. See, I want to do the overhead strike on the Grey Children because it knocks them down faster, but I want to do the double hit with the bugs because I can predict when the second stagger strike's going to hit, but... No. Alright, so now we got you. That's unlocked. Now we can head down. I mean, Sushi X, technically these health drinks are in a nightmare dimension, so, you know, they're perfectly safe to consume, right? Right? Oh, hello there. You put some socks in those things. I do not want to see those frickin' dogs just hanging out in the open. Alright. So we've got some shotgun ammo, an ampule, and some more shotgun ammo. Beautiful. Break! How's it going? You caught us getting ready to wrap up the elementary school. Alright, the fun part. So here's the test for the elementary school. Because again, the whole idea behind this is the unity of opposites and how to counterbalance them between the sun, moon, gold, silver, masculine, feminine, fire, water, depending on which system you're using. Technically speaking, air and earth are also that dichotomy in the 4 elements, but we'll talk about 4 elements when we get to the next level. So the point of this puzzle is to balance the left and the right. Turn the left valve. Turn the left valve again. And I'm just doing this way because I know the solution, but... So now the individual who's projecting this world now recognizes that Harry has learned the lesson about how to counterbalance the two. Now, a weird symbol in Alice in Wonderland that has the same idea, which it's done for a different reason, but we'll talk about that when we get to that area, is after talking to the caterpillar, she gets the mushroom where one side of it makes her big and one side of it makes her small. So she's constantly biting back and forth between the two sides to get her physical size to be the perfect height, where she's getting too big, then too small, then too big. So she's trying to counterbalance the two, the dichotomy of it, and that's another representation of this. Well, Joshua, the reason why this is all taking place in the elementary school is because literally this idea is elementary. This is the basic... This is like preschool esoteric knowledge required before you can start moving on to the more complex stuff. We're literally in elementary school from what the character who's projecting this is trying to teach us. So it's a more literal interpretation. Hello there, big lizard. Run! No, 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 run, 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 run! Okay, run. That's it. Oh, dude, come on. The only downside is running away is not the smoothest. There we go. Okay. So now that it's starting to do that, we need to switch over to the shotgun. Okay. Now this is the scary part, because he can literally one-hit KO you. Remember the fairy tale where he opens his mouth? We have to wait till he opens his mouth. Which again, splitting into two. But there's another reason for it splitting into two as well. more on the exoteric part of the story, why that's a symbol there. Hello there. Are you satisfied? Did we learn what you're trying to teach us?
What was that? Who in the hell was that?
Ding, ding. This is a boiler room. What's going on here? Why the mouth open sideways? I mean, it's probably open sideways just because it's left and right. The up and down would kill the purpose that the entire level is trying to get across to us. And K. Gordon key. Now, cool little thing with why they probably added the church bells playing right now is the purpose behind church bells and other kinds of bells like that are intended to be a cleansing sound where the sound itself resonates throughout the space and in a weird way purifies the area. So now that the nightmare's over, the church bells ring to purify everything we just experienced and remove it, so now we're back in the fog world and out of the other world. Yes, and it's also split down the middle. Yes, it's a resonance. Ah, the school looks so much better now. I hear a church bell, maybe. Who is ringing the bell? The Balkan Church. Okay, back into the fog world. So this is more of the hypnagogic reality. Somewhere between consciousness and unconsciousness. Hey, hello there, magic school bus. Oh, 100% Brick. Like, I like the fixed camera angles, because I was actually having this argument with a friend of mine about this game right here, or Silent Hill in general, with the tank controls and the camera angles, is even though, yes, the controls are jank, I feel like it actually adds to the horror of the game. Not necessarily the horror, but me being scared in the game, because I can't control the character very well, and as a result, even smaller enemies it makes me more jumpy because I can't escape them as well. Now, if I can do a full rain move like I can do in modern games, it wouldn't be as bad, because I can be like, oh yeah, I can kick this enemy's ass, whatever. But when literally just the controls screw with you and get you killed, it makes you a lot more nervous. I mean, they use different camera angles, like the diagonal shots, just in film in general, because when it's not perfectly in a perfect straight angle, where it's like tilted to the side and slightly diagonal, it actually adds to unconscious anxiety. There's an entire theory of film making and cinematography that deals with it, and that's something you can't really mimic when you have very well controlled camera angles. But alright guys, well I think that's going to be it for today. It's a little bit earlier than normal, but I'm going to be ending these off specifically at points in the game where it's going to make the most sense. So we are going to be continuing on into The next area, because the thing is, if we continue now, it's going to lock us, I wouldn't say lock us in, but thematically speaking, it's going to lock us into a mode of thought that's going to carry through to the next dungeon, and I don't want to get that initiated here. That it'd be more of a messed up cliffhanger if I stop after the next section than if I stop right here. But we're going to go ahead and do this again Friday of this week, so we'll see you all in 2 days for those who are live. And for anyone who is watching this after the fact for the VOD, well, you'll probably be clicking straight ahead right to the next one right now. But that's really about it. I hope everybody had fun with this, and my ranting was at least a little bit interesting. I know I tend to get overly excited for these types of content topics, but if you follow the channel in any capacity and see my regular edited videos, you'll know why. That's just how I am. I'm a weirdo that way, but we're all a little bit of weirdos, so I love you all. Anyways, oh yeah, I just got a donation from Joshua Egg. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. Hope you do more of these live streams. Came in late, but I liked what you saw. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm gonna go through this game. It's probably gonna take me 4 streams, so I try to do it Monday or Wednesdays and Fridays. But I do also have a habit of, after I finish a game, taking a hiatus, which I'm trying to get away from doing that. But for this stream in particular, I need a little bit of a space of time so I can prepare and get my research done before we discuss it. But that's really about it. So yeah, I'll try to do these as often as I can. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. You all enjoy. Love you all. I'll see you all shortly, and hope you have a good day or evening, wherever you're at in the world. Take it easy. Tell them about your stream. Sure thing. So tomorrow, check out Draco Fox's channel. He's finishing up Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Peace.